Hello and welcome to one of my transcription explanation videos. I am the scribe of Sirkles, and if you've seen one of these videos before or are familiar with my script, you can go ahead and skip forward and get to the design transcription itself, where I read the artwork letter by letter using this script. But if you're not familiar with the script or just want to hear me ramble for a bit, let's go ahead and get into how to use the Sirkles key. So, this is set up in a grid. You'll notice we have rows and we have columns. And these rows are determined by the letter stems. So there are 4 different letter stems. There is a deep divot up in the top row, and that deep divot is more than 50% of a circle, like a horseshoe or an omega. So that's this one here. And then there's a shallow divot stem in the 3rd row down here, and that shallow divot is like a bite taken out of a cookie, 50% or less of a circle. Then we have our completed circle stems in the 2nd row and in the bottom row. And this 2nd row stem is a completed circle, but it's inside the word circle. Whereas the bottom row, it's on the line of the word circle. And that can be anywhere on the line. It doesn't have to be centered like shown, or that inside the word circle can be kind of more towards the middle, but just make sure you can tell where its position is, because the reading order for this script is bottom counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. So, start at the bottom, go counterclockwise, like 6 o'clock going around the clock. So, that is the reading order and the letter stems. Now that is how you get in the rows. Now to get the columns, we have dot modifiers and we have line modifiers. And that fine print up here matters. So these dots, they count at whatever letter they're closest to, whereas the lines, they count where they end on a letter stem. So where they connect and stop on the letter stem, which is again that black bit of our letters, so things are color-coded. This blue one is the word circle, the black line is the letter stem. So if a line were to end on that letter stem, it would count for a line modifier, but if it goes through the letter stem, it doesn't count. So this line going through the letter stem doesn't count on the letter stem, but it does count on the vowel. So let's go down and talk about vowels now that we've talked about the dot modifiers, line modifiers, and letter stems. Vowels are these little guys, and they look similar to dot modifiers. The biggest difference being dot modifiers are filled in, or vowels, they're open in the middle. So an A is outside the word circle, and it is the only thing entirely outside the word circle. Everything else is somewhat touching or connected or inside the word circle. And our centered vowels, the I's, E's, and U's, are centered either on the line of the word circle, or they are inside the word circle, but they're centered inside the consonant stem. So that's what this shows. This shows what a B stem would be with a vowel on it, an O, an E, or an A. Or this would be a J stem with the O, the E, and the A, so on and so forth. And then the difference between the I's and the U's are these lines. So this green line going towards the center of the word circle is what makes an I an I. A U has a line going away from the center of the word circle. So if this is the word circle, the I goes towards it, the U goes away from it, and similarly here, I, U. And that's relative to the word circle. So, not the sentence circle or anything else. It's relative to the word circle. So, sentence circle. Sometimes you can put a sentence circle around your word circle if you so choose, especially if you have punctuation, because that is where the punctuation marks go. They're all noted here. And a sentence circle, it can have these decorative divots to kind of fill an empty space between words, so long as you can tell that, you have a sentence circle with a word circle. You could sneak in a secret word in the sentence circle if you wanted, but that is generally, not something you would expect people to read. And then there's this start marker, which is optional. If you have the reading order in the typical bottom counterclockwise fashion on a design that will be oriented bottom with a top and a bottom, you don't need your start marker. You can put that there if it's something that'll spin, like a sticker, or if it's something that will, have multiple kind of start places. If you're writing a poem or something, you can use the start marker as a bit of a roadmap. I tend to not use a start marker when possible because most of my designs are used as tattoos, which there's a person attached to a tattoo and they'll tell you where to start and which direction is up or down. So yeah, the last bit is this letter stacking junk. stack. And this is complicated. This makes a lot more sense in practice, and if I use letter stacking in the design, I'll go more into this in the specific design. Otherwise, the quick and dirty is letters in the same row can be stacked. That means they have the same letter stem. You read thin to thick, and same thickness means same letter. So you don't need to double up the modifiers. If you have like a double L, you don't need 6 dots, because an L has 3 dots. It's just you have 2 of the same completed circle, like a double circle. That's an L. If you were to write an L and a J, then you need one line with the 3 dots by it to be thinner, and then the J to be thicker, because you read thin to thick. Vowels are read after consonants, so this would be a B before the O, E, or A. This would be a J read before the vowel, so on and so forth. And a slash through a vowel, so like not a line modifier, not connecting to anything else, but just like a little hash line through our vowel, moves it up 1 letter in the stack. So that is letter stacking, and letter stacking is tricky. If you'd like to learn more about letter stacking, you can read the full guide document here, or you can see the video tutorial here, and I go more in depth as far as the different ways different things can look in that video tutorial. And if you're more interested about the history and development of the script, these are the presentation slides me and Lauren give at panels at conventions and stuff, where we talk about the history and development of the script, as well as its use on Doctor Who. Most people will recognize this script from Doctor Who, but this is actually something from a couple of nerds in high school that Doctor Who has used. So big difference there. This is not something we took from the show. This is something the show got from us. So it's free for anybody to use, even commercially, so the show didn't step on our toes or anything. It's just really cool to say that, yeah, our silly little circle language is what the BBC has used to represent circular Gallifreyan, the language of the Time Lords on Doctor Who. But that being said, it's not official or canon. It is just, something some nerds made that the show has used, which is a big deal. But I mean, the show's also used like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are cool. They're not a thing from Doctor Who. They're a thing that Doctor Who has used. So yeah, this Sirkles script is what the Doctor Who show has used as Gallifreyan. So yeah, that's the legalese, the technical history and stuff. There's screenshots and stuff in the presentation. If you're interested, just check that out. And then I have, of course, some useful contact and links. That's my email. Feel free to email me with questions. Then shermansplanet.com is Lauren's main site, where there's more information about what they've been doing, as well as information on Gallifreyan there. And then, of course, my Etsy, where I have all of the different options as far as custom stuff I can make for you with the Sirkles. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the design transcription for the specific design of this video. See ya in a bit. Design was made to be an arm tattoo, and I have this little start marker here showing where the start of the sentence is, and that is because they wanted it to be vertical rather than horizontal, but because an arm moves and they wanted to have the orientation for sure correct, this little start marker, no matter however you have this turned or even flipped, tells you to start at this word here, and that it is read starting at the bottom, going counterclockwise with this being the bottom. So we read each word from this position. So this is the first letter here, first letter, and first letter. So this starting at the bottom, we have our first word here, which is a deep divot with nothing, so that's a B. And then an E, a little guy, right on the line of the word circle. So here's B. And these lines here are actually just the line modifiers coming from this X, because this word is an E, X, C, E, double L, E, and then this is an NT letter. So an E, little guy, again, just like this one, the X has 2 line modifiers and is a full circle on the line of the word circle. C has 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, and I'm actually going to snag these and scoochy them a tad so they look less like they're part of the L's and more like they're part of the C. And then an E, again, just like these other E's. And then we have a double letter because it's a double line. And then we have 3 dots, so it's a double L, E, and then an NT has 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. So these are our new 4-dot letters that aren't in every rendition of the guide, because they have been added to help with longer words, making them more compact, plus using the actual letter C, as opposed to swapping it to an S or a K, as you had to traditionally do. Then we have a T, shallow divot, no modifiers, and then an O inside our word circle, so 2. And then this word starting at the bottom of our word circle is an E. A outside the word circle. A CH is a deep divot with 2 dots, so each. And then an O is right inside the word circle. There's nothing along here until we get to the TH. E, again, just like this E, and then an R with 3 dots. So that would be be excellent to each other. So yeah, that's that design. I hope you like it. Thanks.